Good evening, everybody. This is Fleet Commander Stephen Parmley. I'm joined tonight with Admiral Carol Thompson from the Academy, Commodore Stephen Stott, and Russell Camp, Associate Paducah, Starfleet After Dark. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming on. So tonight is the Tuesday's version of the Ask Me Anything. So if you have questions about the IG, you have questions about the Academy, if you have questions about the general fleet stuff, we can get this going and we'll get her started. So, hello to John Patrick Bryce Jr., David Worthy, Tom Gerton, Charlotte Gordon, Jim Landis. Hello.
Hey there. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Sam Black.
Yeah.
I need to share this. Russell, will you keep an eye out for questions real quick while I'm sharing this?
Yeah. Let's see. Still got people joining. I believe he does, but
all right, Jim, look, man, I love you to death, brother, but I left my house at 3:30 this morning. I didn't get off until like 6:30, 6:45. I'm like done. Russell, do we want to bring on a board member? We got one saying that they're willing to come on.
yeah, if we got a board member. I've been sending messages out all day. So
send that link to David Nottage.
Hey.
All right, give me a second here.
All right, so call me whatever. It's all good. No one says my name. So, Russell, how do you pronounce his name?
I believe it's Landelis.
Jim, is it Jim Landelis? I'm just gonna call you like Jim L. I butcher people. Like, I've never seen people with strange last names until I came on to Starfleet. I'm like, how the hell do you say that? How many Academy courses does it take for? Okay, so Carol, this one's for you, right off the gate. This one's how many Academy courses does it take for a BS, MS, or PhD?
Boy, I wrote the VRCP about 20 years ago. I think it's 120. They are not just willy-nilly, just 120 courses, and you've got it. It's set up kind of like a university core system. You take your core classes, and you have to have so many in each institute. So you just have to go to the web page and look at the schedule there.
Hey guys, hang on. I'm trying to set something up here for you all.
Okay.
Oh my God, really?
It better not be a
Can you hear the
tabletop
music
game.
in the background?
Yes.
Pizza pie, it's amore. Sorry. Hang on. Okay, flip. So, first off, do you mind if I commandeer you for a second, guys?
By all means.
So, if you can't see, I hope you can. Welcome to the command bridge of the USS Golden Gate. Hey, guys.
All right.
Yeah, that's great.
So, stand by. I'm going to set you up so I can sit down. Okay, can you see me, folks?
Yeah, we can see you.
Don't you look spiffy, David?
I hope this works for you. I got my glass of wine. I can't see you, so. What's up?
Nice legs.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, at least he has shorts on. It's been worse
I am
before.
in San Francisco. Let's
Like-
see. How do I fix that?
Like
Let's
some of the
go a
people I've
little
had on
higher.
AMA, they stand up and didn't have any
There
shorts.
we go.
So, do we have
So
any?
less legs.
We have a board member on. We have the Academy member on, and we have the
You gotta
Starfleet.
speak up, folks.
So, if you guys have questions, now would be a good time. Big hello to my good friend. Look at that, Jason Tierney says hello to my good friend Carol Thompson.
Can't hear a word you guys are saying because I fucked up the video. Hang on. There we go. Well, speed.
I think this is Trek After Dark now, Russell.
We're gonna have to start. We're gonna have to start a jar for
Yeah,
Okay. Hang on.
one
Sound
slip
test. Sound
for every,
test. Check.
for
check,
every
check.
Is that at your house?
No. This is the command bridge. My house went up in flames, remember?
I remember. I didn't know if that was like an offset, like a guest house or something.
Oh, no. All these screens up here, they play asteroids. Okay, now I can hear you. Steve, keep talking so I can check the sound, okay?
All right. So, do we have any questions tonight? I see Renee Bendali. Welcome. Alan O'Shea from the USS Cucullin. Welcome. Tonight's episode brought to you by technical difficulties. Thanks, Tom. Always pleasure. So, if we do we have any questions? We have a board member, an Academy member. We have the Starfleet IG himself. Of course, me and Russell. If we can answer any questions, we'll get it going. I think that the AMA actually, sadly.
My side's a little hard. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab my headset. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. So the AMA we had Sunday actually was a huge turnout. We had over 48 people watching. It was like the biggest we've ever had. And it was really good. We had some fun. I had some technical difficulties in my house. First, the power went out, and then it came back on, and I was able to log on, and then my internet went out. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just not meant to be today. So, oh, wow. Hang on.
Let's see. I got a question for Carol. So, what has in your years as being a member of SFI and being basically a chair director in the various schools of the academy, what has been your experiences being a director? And what can you say to people that are considering becoming an assistant director to some of these positions that are open?
I think having been in academies for 25 years, started as a director, is that you've got to be available. If you are still working, you have my sympathies. You have to schedule your time. If you're still working, schedule a day a week to grade your papers or whatever comes in, and record all your stuff, and be sure and get your reports in on time, because we have several levels that have to get these reports. You've got to send them to your dean, and the dean does his or her report. Then it goes to the vice commandant, and then eventually it gets up to the CES. And you have to give people time for this, so get your reports in early. Reporting and being available is very, very important. So those are the number one things. Oh, and remember that our first duty is to the members, and that is, you keep that in mind.
Yeah, I definitely think that's some sound advice. I mean, me myself, I've applied for an assistant director's position, but I got to catch up on a couple courses I don't have yet, like most of them. So
The SAOCs, yes.
So welcome to Captain Hooper. He showed up. David
Steve,
Soul.
Steve,
Sir.
can I do a quick sound check? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I hear you. Good.
Five
Can
by
you see
five.
me okay?
It
Yeah.
sounds,
Am I good?
it's kind of, can't you get closer? Can't you get closer? It's kind
You
of,
want me to get closer?
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, just scoot the captain's chair.
I
Yeah,
see that you need some sun on your legs.
well, I'm saying the sound is a little bit distant. Yeah, it's not right up front.
Well, I got my headset on, so I'm trying to do the best I can
So,
here.
Oh,
If
did I
it's
turn it
not
off?
about
Yeah.
closer to the microphone because it's in my ear.
Question is, what's the latest on the Moodle? Keep getting questions about it being down. As of right now, Moodle is up. I
Yeah.
did have Moodle offline. It was not a technical issue. I ordered it offline until we brought it to GDPR compliance. We now have this the security cert on the main site, and we paid the extra for it to cover everything that ends in sfi.org. So the Academy site, the Marines, the MACOs, anything that has sfi.org after it is now covered under the security cert. So we are good to go. Moodle is back online, and actually, I just got a message from Mike Brown on the USS Neptune because he's in the middle of taking an online Moodle course right now. So it's working and people are using it. So as of right now, it's up and running. Let's not jinx it.
Yes.
There you go.
Let's see. Well, that's right.
Hey, Steve,
sure.
I'm going to be here. I'm probably going to be here for another 15 minutes or so because I got a couple of other lives to do.
Okay.
So if you want to utilize me, that's fine. If not, I'll just hang here or I'll be in the background and all that.
Sweet. Do we have any questions for a board member's point of view? I know somebody out there was asking me the other day, what does the board of directors do? Well, this is your chance to ask one.
Ha
While he's liquored up. So, yeah. I think we ought to just get this Starfleet after drinking contest. We know who would win. Question: when
I'll
is
drink you all under the table.
Hooper? That sounds like a competition there, buddy. So from Renee. Oh, hang on. How do you set up a degree program? I'm not sure how that works. So, Carol, this
Just
will
so
look.
you know, I can't see anything. All I can see is my phone. So
I'll let you know if we get one for
I'm
you.
blind.
So the question right now is, how do you set up a degree program? I'm not sure how that works, Carol.
Okay, what I did when I wrote I wrote the VRCP, then I wrote the degree program. The degree program was set out. I opened up the University of Alaska's catalog, and I looked at how they had categorized what is core. You want everybody to take the core courses so that they're familiar with Starfleet and familiar with what we have to offer, and then you have your degree majors and minors, and you have to take a minimum of so many. You have a huge choice, so it's not like, oh yeah, okay, I want to take medical. Do I have to take all of the medical courses? No, you've got lots of choices. Or if you have credits in way back, like 20 years, and we check your database, we check your records, and if it's there, you can use it for credit. So we set it up that way, just like you're going to the university and you know that you're going to come out as a scientist. And so you take your core courses that the university requires you to take, and then you get your specialty, and you just take those courses. And it's all laid out. It should be on the ADP course. The catalog page. So the whole program's there. And if you have any questions, you can just talk to Franklin Newman III, who is the director, and he can explain it to you.
Awesome. So we do have a question for David Nottage. This is from Justin Fitzik. And what do you do to help keep crew retention on board the Golden Gate?
Crew retention?
Yeah. How do you keep crew
Well,
retention?
we take a really big bat lift, and we go around to all the members and say, "God damn it, renew." No, I mean, in all seriousness, crew retention is based off of participation, and if the chapter itself has activities, has things active and going on, people are going to renew. If we promote the academy as a way to increase rank, if that's what your goal is, if you want to increase your knowledge of either Trek or anything else out of the 6,000 courses that are within the academy, if you want to come party with the group, if you want to come to the command bridge and play beer pong, there's just so many different things, but it's all based off of individual participation and what is it that you want to do and how can we provide the fun to make it better for you. Recruitment is a different kind of a story. Recruitment comes from making relationships with and getting new members with your local movie theaters. Like we have the Starbase Balboa, which is a family-run movie theater up the street from us that's now closed due to COVID. But we'll reopen, and we get a lot of members there. We get a lot of folks coming in to look at my Star Trek museum at my place of business and filling out an application. It's just a matter of how much you engage and how enthusiastic you are about it and how positive you are about it. You don't talk negative out in public. You talk it in private. Everything outside of that is positive, and it's all good. Hopefully, Justin, that answers your question. If not, please place a follow-up.
So one of the questions is from Michael Stein on the members only page. How do you recommend we recruit if we have a stay at home order in place in our state? No conventions, no outside events going on now. Really, right now, guys.
Okay, so
Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead, Steve. No, go ahead, Steve.
It's going to be hard to do any type of recruiting right now. All you can really do is get on here and get on Facebook and I'm in, God, I don't even know how many groups that's just Star Trek groups. I've actually got 2 people from the DS9, Star Trek DS9 Facebook page. I got 2 people to join SFI from there because I got on there and started talking to people. So it is possible. It's a little harder. But right now it is hard. I mean, you just can't go out and start recruiting or hanging out because everything's canceled because of the pandemic. So I don't really have a great way to tell you how to do it right now, except for maybe do it online in groups and stuff like this. And right now, until everything opens back up and we get back to the normal, we really don't have any
new normal.
Yeah, the new normal. We don't really have any way to really recruit right now.
Renee.
So here's a couple of really good. Here's
ahead.
a couple of really good best practices that you can do. First off, my chapter, the USS Golden Gate, we have 2 Facebook pages. We have our private group that's closed. Not even the CS can get into it. And we also have what's called a community page. We cross-post back and forth between the community page and our private group. The community page hits people out there. And in this time during COVID, the best thing you can do, use your iPhone, use your Android phone, and do a lot of these live streams and just get yourself out there and share with all of the friends that are on there and tell them to share it as well. Get your information out there to the best of your ability and you'll start getting hits, and who knows, you might go viral depending on how funny you are.
Mhm.
Russell,
Yeah, what I was going to say, one of the people in the chat, Renee, pointed out the Zoom meetings. A lot of these smaller Star Trek kind of like Facebook groups are doing their own little Zoom meetings to talk amongst themselves. And I've been on a couple of them now, and I have some people interested, and I'm not sure if they've jumped on yet. I haven't actually gotten a chance to check at the database to see if they have. But I've talked with them about joining ours because they're just happen to be in our area. So there's that. Additionally, is one thing I can recommend, especially the chapter's been around for a number of years. Go back through your rousters. You know, people that might have left, 2 or 3 years ago, they might have had to leave because of work or whatever reason. They might still be interested, just they didn't have the time at that specific set of time, so they didn't renew. But people's schedules change it. Like I went out from SFI for 17 years and then joined back up. So it's one of those things where if you can approach those people, you can actually get a conversation going and maybe hit that button in the brain that says, hey, I missed this, I want to do this again.
Yeah. Let's see here.
The other thing you can do too is ask your regional coordinator to look up people that are within a few zip codes of you on the unassigned list. And while due to current international restrictions, they can't give you email, but they can give you names of people that might be in your area, and you may be able to find them either on Facebook or somewhere, or figure out a way to get into contact with them. The unassigned list is actually a really good way to do it.
What was that?
Oh, sorry about that. That's my Thunderbird. I don't know how to turn off the sound. People are talking to me on email. I could try to find a way to turn that off.
It's fine.
I've only got one system, so I can't.
So, any other Admiralty Board questions? Any other Admiralty Board questions? Because I'm going to have to go live stream on the Golden Gate page shortly. So I just wanted to make sure there's nothing else that I can help with.
Guys, if you've got any more questions here in the next 5 minutes for the Admiralty Board, while we've got Admiral Nottage on, he's the Region 4 RC. If you have questions for a board member, let's get this. Let's go ahead and get it asked. Oh, look, Russell, my hate patrol is there.
The hate patrol. Can't hate too much,
Yeah, so speaking of the unassigned list, because everybody keeps asking what's going to happen, will they all still have access? So with like David was saying with the GDPR, it's gonna the unassigned list is going to get really drastically cut on who can view that. I know that we've been talking. I know we're working on. It's going to be the RCs that's going to be able to do it, EC members, and we haven't decided if we're going to allow COs to do it or not. But we're trying to. Right now, it used to be when I first joined, anybody could view it. Well, now that it's GDPR, we're trying to make sure the fleet stays in compliance. So we're going to drastically limit on who can view that personal information. I don't even think a CO is going to view.
Steve, just so you know, when you joined, if you saw the unassigned list, that should never have been given access to unless your regional coordinator granted you as a commanding officer access.
Yeah, I had access. I was on the Odin. I can go in and I was a lieutenant, and I probably was about a year in, and I was able to see the unassigned list. Now, I don't know if it was given me or if it was a hiccup in the database. I don't know, but I'm hoping.
A hiccup.
Well,
yeah, I was going to say that was supposed to be a restriction.
More like a brain fart.
I remember there was problems with that.
So do we have any questions left for Admiral Nottage? Because he's going to have to be going. So if you have anything else, he needs to answer them real quick. If not, we're going to have to let him go so he can go to his his cruise thing. Anything at all, guys. All right. Well, David, I do appreciate you coming on. I know you've got another
All
street.
right.
Please give my best to your crew, and I hope everybody's staying
Hey,
safe and healthy.
I appreciate you that very much. For those of you guys that are coming to IC on the West Coast, the command bridge is going to be open. Also, the commissary of the Golden Gate will be open. I hope to see you guys here. Please come to IC on the West Coast. There's so many things that we can
Yeah.
And please, and we'll talk to you all soon. Hey,
Yeah.
Steve, will you drop me?
I can drop you right now, sir, if you want me to.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much. And we'll talk to everybody soon.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Dave.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Okay. So, do we have any other? What do you like the word mullet? I swear to God, I hate Fleet 31 people. Look at this.
Hey, she's SFI though officially now. So
Don't even remind me. She's on my chapter too. I'm looking right at her. Yeah. So, do we have any questions? Welcome to everybody to come on. What do you
there's
guys
one from
think
Shane
we
Russell.
can do both on both Fleet and core side to engage others? Well, here's the main thing that I know, and I've talked to a lot of people. There seems to be a lot of hatred between Fleet and Marines. It's like people that I've talked to in Fleet says, well, Marines think they're better. And then I've talked to Marines, and Marines like, well, no, the Fleet says they're better. You guys do realize Commodore of the Inspector General's office is nothing, right? The commander of Starfleet is nothing. It is a fictitious. It's y'all need to really play long, like get into your sandbox and play. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's no elite group because this is Starfleet. I mean, how many of you guys beam yourself up to your starship and go to bed? I mean, Steve, do you have like a runabout hidden under your bedroom where you have to go in there and beam yourself up to your ship?
Runabout's in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but guys, it's I don't know. I mean, there's been hatred on both sides since I even joined 12 years ago. And will it end? Probably not, because you've got some people that says, well, SFMC is the elite, and you got people that says, well, no, Mako's the elite, and we're going to run. I'm like, oh my God. Just play nice, be respectful. At the end of the day, we're all adults. Yeah, like Mary says, 10% of the fleet is SFMC. So that's a big number.
To answer his question too is, and kind of segue off of yours is use that competition. There's a number of ways you can pit a strike group against a fleet ship's crew. I've actually started thinking about doing that here on the Battleborn because we have a number of people that are fleet only, and we have a quite large strike group as well. And I was thinking about setting up either paintball or airsoft, orienteering competitions, stuff like that. Trivia competitions, basically try to team them up against each other if you have that disparity, if you have enough people on both sides. But as far as keeping your crews, enthused, really it just comes down to is bringing them something to do. And it's really difficult right now. Like we're on the Battleborn right now, we're trying to set up an over video role-playing game with the new Modifius entertainment rules. And it's just getting everybody set up, getting characters made, and take some time.
It does, guys. But, we're all part of the same organization. We're all in this for fandom. We're all in this for fun. I mean, I'm a Marine. I'm an active Marine, but it's kind of like I got called a traitor the other night by a young SFMC Marine who I'm not going to name out, but he's watching right now because I've seen him post. But he called me a traitor because I'm not wearing the Marine uniform and I'm wearing the naval uniform. I'm like, dude, you do realize, I said, if I was a real 5-star, I would be the youngest 5-star in history. Do you guys know what a 5-star admiral makes? Like, I would not be living in an apartment. I'm just saying. So it's all fun, guys. Always wanted to try role playing. What the hell? My God. Welcome to Lawrence, Eric, Paul, Kimberly. Kimberly Donahue. I can't even talk tonight, guys. Who's surprisingly he's watched every episode I've ever aired live. I don't know why. Do we have any other questions for any of the panelists? So, would you guys like to see a sneak peek on the new intro into the Starfleet After Dark? If so, give me a thumbs up in the chat. You know, Steve, we gotta get you a second pip, dude.
I'm sorry. The communications are garbled here.
Oh, I bet they are. Hang on, let me call you. Hang
Here,
on, I'll call you. Like, you need a second pip.
Here we go.
There you go. All right. So if you guys want to see the new intro for the Starfleet After Dark as a sneak peek before the rest of the fleet does, give me a thumbs up in chat.
Where is it? Let me look here.
Hang on. We're gonna.
Let me find it. I guess we had a question from Renee that got skipped. Oh, I think I know which one it is. How long until the database is up? Is that the correct one?
Okay. Is that Renee? Is that about the database? I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, I think it is because that's the only one I'm seeing through the chat.
Okay,
yeah.
so, database. So the database right now is 98% done. We are working on the coding issues right now, getting them resolved, and Tony Knops is working very diligently on that. And we don't actually have an ETA, but he's telling me we're about 98% complete with the entire database. So once that's done, and he gets the coding issues that he's working on right now done, then we'll start beta testing the new database. And once that's done beta testing, then we'll do the migration and transfer everybody over. Does that answer your question, Renee? All right. All right. So I see plenty of thumbs up. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek on what the new intro will be for Starfleet After Dark. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That is something new we are doing. We do have a new. Russ, will play the one for the Ask Me Anything. My computer just froze.
Fun. Give me a moment. I got to open that window back up. This one is for the Ask Me Anything right here.
So, guys, we're doing these videos to try to make this more fun and more interesting. Like I said, I thought ICL West Coast was canceled. Aaron, is that Bright? I can't see. My computer is
Bright. Yes.
So, Aaron Bright asked, I thought ICL the West Coast was canceled. It is not canceled. It's been postponed to November 6th, 7th, and 8th. That is tentatively the schedule unless the state of California says you can't do this. If they still have the minimum, you can't have over so many people. I'm not for sure. But as of right now, it is still on for November 6th, 7th, and 8th. So, guys, we're trying to do these extra little videos to make this more entertaining, more fun for you guys. If you guys have ideas on what we could do to make the AMAs or the Starfleet After Dark better or more fun, please reach out to Russell. If you don't know who Russell is, he's the ugly guy up there at the top. He's the one waving. This is Russell.
Hey, everybody.
So if you have any ideas that you want to try to do about making it more fun or anything at all, please reach out. We take everybody's statements in consideration. We try to make it work. If you guys want to come on and talk, reach out and touch somebody. Reach out to Russell. Thank you. I had a brain fart. Reach out to Russell. He'll get you on the schedule. Same thing for the. Oh my God.
For both the AMA and the After Dark, if you want to be on stream, just send me a private message, and I'll get back. Or if I don't get back to you immediately, I will get back to you. You don't have to add me as a friend first. I have been checking my message requests pretty often just to make sure I don't miss anybody. But if you do want to add me a friend, that's perfectly fine as well. I don't care.
Guys, go ahead.
The other thing I was going to say, as far as like videos, Alan probably remembers from earlier today on his live chat. One of his members, Nikki on the Cucullin, kind of came up with an idea of maybe doing a fleet-wide. Each ship kind of sends a small little like excerpt video, and we make a collage video again, like what we used to do.
That'd be a great idea.
And she's kind of heading up on that. She's going to start working towards getting in contact with the other ships in Region 20. I'm going to be getting with a couple interested parties in a couple different regions and see what we can get accomplished.
Awesome.
So.
Speaking of Region 20, guys, they have their virtual regional summit this weekend. Do we have anybody on the Cucullin that could post the registration page? Let me see if I can find it.
We'll say Alan's online right now.
Alan. Oh, Alan. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody tag me in it. Commander, too much singing. Okay, so look, guys. Let me. I left my house this morning at 3:30 this morning. I didn't get off and get home until 6:45. So yes, some of you guys have seen me singing, posting on the Facebook timeline. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you're deprived. Yeah. So Alan's going to post that for us. I thought I had it, but I can't seem to find it. But his computer is also going buku crazy. Paul says my singing was quite entertaining. Not good, but entertaining. At least he's honest. Let's see here. All right, Jim Landelis.
So yeah, I can actually put the overlay up of the schedule. I have that in the overlays.
Yeah,
I did.
The overlay, would you?
Yeah. So
go ahead.
I was gonna say all the times here are in BST, so that's Greenwich Mean Time +1. So for Central Time, that's going to be +6 hours, I believe. Pacific Standard is going to be +8, if I recall. I'd have to look. This has kind of been my new Hades this time. So let's see. Yeah, right now the time in the UK is 3:40 a.m. and the time where I'm at is 9:40. So yeah, that's 6 hours difference for me in Central. So it'll be 7 hours behind for you in Mountain Time, Elizabeth. All right, Give me a sec here.
Mike, I'm in a rental. My truck blew up.
But yeah, basically, I'm gonna pull this off. I guess we have a question from the gallery. Let me grab that real quick. There we go. Where was it at, Carol? Because I'm not seeing it.
It would probably be your timestamp 9:33.
Okay.
Just before where Tom put all the thumbs up.
Ah, I gotcha. 33. Where are you at? There we go. I'll show you. Boop. There we go.
Okay. Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. Take it.
Go ahead.
Okay, Alan, sorry we accidentally passed you by. Okay, all the exams, there's from what I understand, there's going to be a 2-phase. Right now, since we are not posting to the existing database because we don't know when it's going to be switched over, we are putting them on a dedicated Google groups, Google Sheets, excuse me. And then when the first phase will be when the new database is up and running, then Tony will grab the existing after he's purged out the people who are no longer, who are passed away and are 7 years past leaving, and he will import those first, and then he will pick up the Google groups and he will import those into the new database, and hopefully we catch everybody. But if we don't, after a while, and you don't see your grades up there, definitely contact Jill or TJ Allen about that, and we'll make sure that we check over all of our backup files, like the MSRs and things that come in from the quiz, to make sure that you're posted correctly.
And then also, I'll add to that too. As always keep your emails from any of your classes. Keep your certificates, because if the database does go down, a lot of times the teacher doesn't have the available space to, keep all of that information. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't. So it's better for you to keep on your side to keep your provenance for what courses you've done. So in the very case there is a loss, you can get them back.
So I've got to give a proud dad shout out for a minute to everybody watching. Everybody that knows me knows I'm very dedicated and I love my kids. So my daughter today passed with a 3.0 GPA. She will be moving into a junior at her high school. My son, who passed with a 3.0 GPA, will be moving into 8th grade. And then, of course, my princess, my beautiful 9-year-old. Everybody knows her. If you don't know my daughter, then there's something wrong, because she's been all over stuff. Even Stott knows her. She's moving into 4th grade. 4th grade. So I'm getting old. So proud dad moment. Sorry. Okay. Back to Fleet.
Good night, Laura.
Who said Laura? Who?
Laura Felty. She's
good night, Laura. Have a blessed night, ma'am.
Or wait, or is she saying good night to somebody else?
Oh no, she was saying good night to Mike. Mike Calhoun, USS Dark Saber. Good night, sir. So yeah, guys, once the database comes online, we're going to beta test that before we move everything over. That's the big thing. We want to make sure that it works. Oops.
Are you seriously going to put that on?
No, I'm not going to put it on. Actually, I should, because a lot of people trash like Star Wars. No, I'm not. Do we have any questions? because I'm like really hyped up still, and I like not even sleepy. I'm really considering rolling this into After Dark.
I'm trying to think. I had a question on the Academy earlier, and I cannot recall it. That I was going to ask. It wasn't the one I asked earlier.
There are plenty of questions for Academy, believe me.
Yes, Paul. Paul knows what I'm talking about. Yes. The Top Gun was fun. See? He knew what I was talking about. You're not getting old until you have grandkids. Well, I'll tell you what, Jared. If my teenagers make me a grandfather before they're out of high school, I will be rocking an orange jumpsuit. I will be Commander Starfleet, feet of concrete and steel. That's right.
That'll be interesting. Setting up the cam for that. Question on that, Alan, for the 20th BDE registration. From what I recall from the International AMA, the DOT said that he was not going to, on his own accord, authorize that muster be counted towards people's ribbon. But he did say to encourage between the different brigades to attend. So
if you're in 1st Brigade, I can guarantee the OIC will approve it. If not, I'll have a discussion with him.
I'll have to talk with the Region 3 and see what he says.
Mr. Edward Tunis.
Yes, sir. He might actually be on.
Speaking of, Sam Black says, as a high school teacher, I've always said that when I get a 2nd generation students, it's time to retire. Let me tell you, Sam, my daughter had my chemistry teacher. She had my English teacher, and she has my PE coach. And I've been out of high school now. Holy shit. 18 years, give or take. Not like some of you guys, but like 18 years, and they're still teaching. Like the chemistry teacher, she singled out my daughter, made her come up and stand in front of the class, in front of all the class. She's like, this is Natalie. I had Natalie's dad here exactly 18 years ago, and my daughter's just like, I can't believe she did that. That was embarrassing. I don't want anybody to know I'm related to you. I'm like,
May I share something on that, Rain? When I was a substitute teacher, I substitute taught where one of my kids was in it, and she says, "Mom, what do I call you in class?" And I says, "Just call me Mrs. Thompson," because she was so embarrassed. I mean, she was only 13, and it was like, "Oh my God, my mother is substituting."
I had that happen too, because I've gone in a few times and substituted in the ROTC program when the instructors were out. They had to take students to some other part and they couldn't be there. And Natalie, she's like, "I'm not calling you sir." I'm like, "Yeah, you are. If I'm in uniform in this class, I see you will address me as sir." And she hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor would be like, "Well, we have a substitute today," and she's like, "It better not be my dad." And I come walking in and I'm waving, and she's like, "Oh." So, I'm good at embarrassing my kids.
Me too. I used to embarrass them a whole lot, so on purpose sometimes. Because of all the crap they gave me when they were younger.
Exactly.
Payback.
Steve, aren't you a grandpa?
No,
No.
I am not.
Well, I guess that's why you don't have any gray hair yet.
I keep it cut. It's gray.
Keep it
If I
cut.
let it grow out, it'd be all gray.
See, I got it right here, but this is my quarantine beard. I was told by my fire chief that it's going to have to go very soon because I cannot get a sealed mask around it. I found out the hard way the other night. We went in to do cleanup after the fire, pulling down drywall and checking for any flare-ups and stuff, and I just wasn't getting a good seal across my beard. And he's like, "You need to shave it." I'm like, "Not till the quarantine's up." Not happening.
That's going to be a couple years, man.
I,
God.
This thing's sticking around.
I will come to IC looking like ZZ Top. I don't care. Y'all seen what Sal Lazard's beard looked like? I'll surpass that. This is only about I shaved it about a week ago, and this is a week worth of hair.
Woo.
Yeah, it's rapid growth. So, do we have any more questions? Now we're back.
See, Carol, on the chat when we were talking, this is what I was talking about by the word stop. When the questions stop.
No, actually, there was another one I saw in there. Somebody asked, I forgot who, I'm sorry, asked if you get OTS and OCC, do you automatically get a promotion to ensign? Well, that's
dependent on your ship.
Entirely up to your CO.
Yeah.
Until you hit the flag ranks, the CO has and whatever schedule they have in their bylaws, that's what they promote by. So it doesn't matter. But OTS and OCC are required for some positions. Sometimes it's just OTS and SAOC for directorship. So you have to check what position you want to be in outside of your chapter, what you need to take to qualify for that.
And the other requirement besides OTS and OCC is to submit a completed MSR. So the question on the screen is for Stott. Do you have a deputy IG?
Well, we just got hired 5 new assistant IGs.
Now explain what their job's going to be and stuff like that.
Yeah, so currently in the book, the way it was designed, we have assistant IGs, and theoretically they were supposed to be 1 per region. When I went to put out the advertisement, obviously I ran it by the AB first and what the plan was, and the suggestion was instead of having 1 for each region, that we only have a certain number, and that made sense based on the workload. So what I did was I divided the fleet up into the different quadrants that we're familiar with in Star Trek. So we have an alpha quadrant, beta quadrant, delta, and gamma quadrants. And so what I did was I hired assistant IGs for each one of those quadrants, and they will handle a block of regions to do investigations.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's what we did. And I brought on 5. I actually bought 2 on for the alpha quadrant because that was a pretty big number of chapters and regions. And then we have 1 per each of the other quadrants. So.
You want to explain a little bit about what the AIGs are going to be doing?
Well, yeah, they're the main thing that they're going to be doing. The IG itself, like my job, I have 3 main things that I do. One is having oversight for the Commander Starfleet election, the triennial election that happens every 3 years. The other is, which is more the daily, is dealing with the regional elections. And for example, right now we have 2 that are going on, and we have 1 starting the 1st of the month. Regions 12 and 12, 13, and 15 are all got elections either getting ready to go on or are ongoing as we speak. So that's another big job that I have. And then the funnest job, the most enjoyable job that I have as a Starfleet IG is doing investigations.
He's lying.
I love this job. It's the sole reason why I volunteered to be an IG, is to do investigations, because everyone in the fleet is highly cooperative and everybody's happy and loves each other. And it's they complain about the MSRs putting nothing to put down. The investigations are even worse than that. I mean, it's just nothing to do. Of
So-
course, getting. That's why we hired assistant IGs to help me out with the job that'll be going on there. We've got a couple of big projects, as a matter of fact, that will be starting up. Not talking about investigations, but just some housekeeping stuff that I'll have the team involved with. One is to do an overhaul of the IG manual. For those of you in fleet that don't know, I have a separate manual that I have to operate out of. So we'll be looking at that, overhauling that, and updating that. And a couple of issues that go right along with the manual is doing a relook at the triennial Commander Starfleet election, getting that up to date, and the rules and how that's operating. And a lot of my job works hand in hand with the AB. So that's kind of an overview of what's going to be going on. One of the key things I'll be discussing with the new team here after the first of the month, their jobs become effective first of the month. One of the things I'll be discussing with them, for example, is how we're going to go about employing them and doing investigations. One of the suggestions came, instead of having them do investigations specifically for the quadrant they're assigned to, that they'll cross level and do an investigation, for example, if it comes up in a different quadrant, do it there to help with the objectivity. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll look at doing that. So,
and for the people
that answer the mail.
Yeah, for the people that do not know, the IG is actually next to the CS. He's actually probably the next busiest person in fleet. I mean, he's like, when I took office January 1st, he'll tell you, I called him midnight my time. I said, okay, here's the investigations I need to start looking into. He literally thought I was crazy. He still kind of does.
Normal. More crazy than normal.
More crazy than normal. And, but next to the CS, he's probably the next busiest person. I mean, he's literally, he answers all my calls. I said, hey, I've got a question on this. He interprets the manual for me. I mean, he's the go-to guy. So that's why reason why we wanted somebody in there that's level-headed and good at paperwork. I mean, obviously he's a retired sergeant major. He should be able to do lots of paperwork and have no issue with it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Alvin, question, was that on the Moodle? Alvin asked, he recently had a chapter member had a problem with the search function in the Institute of Star Trek Studies that he couldn't get to work. What happened?
I would say whenever you have an issue with the program itself, is to contact Jason Tyronian. He's the SFA webmaster, and he takes care of Moodle and the ES's website. So there's not a lot that the rest of us minions can do about that, but the webmaster can.
Just so Carol, did TJ tell you about what you guys are going to be doing in the Academy on Moodle yet, or is he keeping that a secret?
Oh no, we talk all the time.
Okay.
If you have a specific question, I'll answer it.
No, that's all right. So everybody that does not know, SFMC Academy is not on Moodle right now. I've mandated that they get all the academies, anything to do with education purposes, obviously falls under the CES because he's the Chief of Education Services. So everything will be on Moodle before I leave office.
Mm-hmm. Now that doesn't mean that it all has to be in the quiz format. It just means that Moodle will process. Eventually, we're going to have a Dropbox where people who use the PDFs can, instead of emailing to a specific address or anything, it'll go into the Moodle Dropbox so that we circumvent the problems we have with ISPs talking to each other, like AOL, won't talk to SFI.org and all that stuff. Well, we're going to bypass that eventually. So, yeah, that's what we mean by everything in Moodle. So they'll always have a choice of if we put up a quiz, you'll also have a choice to download a PDF. And one of my pipe dreams is to have translations for our most important courses. Our people that are doing French and Puerto Rican, well, not Puerto Rican, but Spanish, are having tremendous problems with the weather and now the the virus. And
Hang on
so
one second, Carol.
I have impressed them on that.
Russell, take over for a minute, please.
All right. Alvin, I'm on Moodle right now looking at the search. I don't know what the specific search key that he was searching for, or he or she was searching for, but it seems to be working now. I would tell them to retry it and see if it works. Let's see, what do we got here? Question from Elizabeth in El Paso. When will the School of Astronomy come back? I know the previous director passed away some time ago.
It's being worked on and upgraded to the current standards. We have to have a revised date on them. We have to have all of our sources checked to make sure that they're still live. There's quite a lot of cleanup work to do to get everything up to date. And I mean, we've got well, somewhere over 150 colleges in over 3,200 exams that have to have that done to it.
Yeah.
So the School of Astronomy it has not been closed. It's just closed for update. So we don't know when. It's just whenever whoever's on that team gets it done and it gets proofread. So.
Okay. And then we also have, does the FAC tool for taking online academy courses still running or a thing of the past?
Yes, it is new. The FAC that Greg Staler created was out of his own programming. When we switched over, when we finally instituted Moodle a couple years, 4 years, it's been 4 years already, Moodle had its own. And so, yes, it's called the QAM or Quiz Activity Module. And we are gradually getting our courses through that. Not every college is going to have QAMs because they're more of the long thought type questions and answers. But yes, it's a different system, but it works. Actually, I think it works better because we have more personal control over it. If there is we can edit them if there is an error. When somebody takes a course for the first time, oh, this doesn't work, we can go right in and fix it. It is a new thing, and we're going to keep doing that because people love it. I mean, especially when you take the SAOCs, that's 17 exams, and you can whip through those in a couple days on the quiz with the quiz module.
Okay. Another question from Elizabeth. Is it recommended that she take the chapter dynamics for the flag officer school or not?
Chapter dynamics. That sounds like the old system when I want to say Marlene, but not Marlene. No, it was Marlene's, I think, or was it Joe Trimble's? No, it was Helen Pulowski who wrote the original FOS. Now we have rewritten FOS many times over the years since Helen's version. So you need to take the FOS, which is closed right now because of lack of personnel. We're hiring new people. And it is entirely different than Helen's original that had the chapter dynamics, the regional dynamics, and the fleet dynamics in it. So you must have been around a while because I haven't seen that chapter dynamics in a long time.
Sam Black was saying it was Helen.
Helen Pulowski, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm 72. You just got to excuse the holes in the brain. Swiss cheese, you know.
So do we have any more questions, guys? So we have a new member watching. Her name is Jeannie Hay. Obviously, I give her crap. She gives me crap. Is there anybody out there that I could maybe get to mentor her to help her figure out what she needs to do with OTS and OCC? Help her out with questions. Because to be honest with you, I've got a lot on my plate.
Well, yeah. Is she on your chapter? Yeah, she can just let's see. I'm trying to think of. Well, I'm trying to think the easiest way to get a hold of me. You have Facebook?
Yeah, she has Facebook. Hang on, I'll show you. So
Yeah, just share my link with her, and
if
she can.
everybody watching could add this person right here. Her name is Jeannie Hay. She's a new SFI member. She has questions, and to be honest with you, I've got so many big projects going on with SFI. I don't really think I could give her the time that she needs. Can somebody help her, like figuring out what she needs to do with courses? Needs your OTS, OCC. She'll have questions. So if everybody watching can go at her, she's a sweet woman. She's also in Fleet 31, another group I'm in. We pick at each other all the time, but she's a pretty good person. So if you can go at her and tell her Steve sent you, and maybe you guys can help her figure out what path she needs to do and so forth.
So what's the name again on the Facebook username?
Jenny Hay.
I
got it right there on the screen right now.
Jenny Hay. Okay, Jenny Hay, Hay. All right, Jenny, I will add you to my Facebook, and I'll kind of route you around where you have specific questions. I'll route you to the director. If it's a general question, I can answer that for you. So we'll get you on my Facebook page and contact you.
Any other questions, guys?
But just in case people find multiples of Jenny Hay, that's her profile picture up there on the screen. So that's what you need to be looking out for.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful because sometimes I get a dozen or so. It's like.
Shane is Hay.
Mm-hmm. A question on the Flag Officer School. Is there any potential ETA on when that school will be coming back online?
I would contact Jill Rayburn, who is the commandant. She knows more about the teams that are put together, because this was a surprise when this one went vacant, and so she's pretty much knows what's going on there. I don't know what all, so ask Jill.
So, Jenny, you're just now coming back. I didn't know you were away from your computer. I'm sending Starfleet members your way to answer questions, help you, show you where the academy is, show you what classes that there's out there. There's like 3,000 courses in just the SFI Academy. There's literally, it's stupid with how many courses are in the academy. I mean, you can't just sit down and do it all.
Okay, Jenny. My name is Carol Thompson. Right now, I don't have a really official title. I'm just kind of Girl Friday. But I will, when I message you, I will tell you who I am and what I want to help you with. So I hope that you do accept me when I do that.
But yeah, just as an example, I have my Moodle up right now. So these are all different institutes that go into different schools or colleges that then you can do all sorts of things. Everything from like learning about the United States Constitution or the history and culture of Australia to, come back up here, Institute of Fantasy, Horror, and Supernatural. You have all sorts of different courses. There's literally anything you could possibly imagine. Somebody's probably thought of it and made a class on here.
Yeah, there's a class for everything out there. It's funny as hell. I think I got a kick out of it when I got on there and it said the class. Anyways, it was Harry Potter. I'm like, my ex-wife took those classes and made honors across the board, and she didn't. Even, she's like, "Yep, I know this question. I know this question." I'm like, "I hate you. Go away."
It's the members that ask us for these, and so quite often the member that really is passionate about, I want this. We discuss it, and if we retired it for lack of interest, sometimes we'll discuss it with that person and say, "Do you want to rewrite this and be a director?" And we'll just bring them right in. Of course, we do have to ask them to advertise, but for rules from headquarters. But and people that are interested, that's how they grew so big, because people wanted to write for us, and if we felt that it was appropriate for our clientele, then we would give them a chance to try.
So announcement, guys, do not forget about the Com Badge competition going on. We are looking at doing a specific Com Badge design solely for SFI, something unique, something not in service, and we are going to trademark it. So
that's nice.
So I've got a lot of people. Actually, I got one guy that sent me like 6 pages in a PDF of ones he's designed. So it's getting pretty.
That's nice. I like that. I like that idea a whole lot.
Because see, we're the main thing that we're having to do is we're having to keep SFI in compliance with CBS policies. So the Com badges, like Steve, put your arm down for a minute. All right, so the Com badge that's on his T-shirt, obviously it's a T-shirt, I know. That is not compliant. The Com badge that Admiral Thompson has on is not compliant. That is CBS. The one that is being shown by Russell, those are not compliant. We cannot you can buy those on your own, but we cannot have those on our logos. We cannot have those in our graphics or manuals. So we are going to get a Com badge design, and we're going to sell them through the quartermaster. And whatever, even the Section 31 badge he's showing up is not compliant. We can't use that. Now I'm not saying you can't go out and buy that. You can go out and buy anything you want. But SFI purposes, it cannot be on our logos, cannot be in our manuals. And we are strenuously, my compliance team is going through, and I'm getting a list of things that needs to be changed. A lot of manuals they're finding the old Com badges in the manuals. That's got to be removed. Yes, Jason, trademark. So basically, once we have
only the Delta.
Yeah, the only thing we can technically use is the Delta only, with no star, no nothing, just the Delta. Let me see. Let me pull up this PDF here.
Yeah, the other one is like Discovery. It is just the Delta, but there's a distinguishing factor in that there's a split, and then they've dropped it a hair. That's just enough to make it where they could trademark it. Just the Delta, just that little nub down here, right in the middle of it. You can wear anything you want. Like, that's different. I mean, if you bought it, made it, printed it, whatever, that's up to you. We're talking about branding. So, like all of our fleet logos, like the Command of Starfleet logo, the Office of the Vice. Sorry, tongue twister. But the Office of Finance and Starfleet Academy, all of those type logos that we use as an organization cannot have trademark material in it. It just opens us up to a giant hole of lawyering that we don't want to be a part of. As far as chapters go,
So
we recommend that chapters take the time to look at their logos and remove that IP, but we're not saying you have to go and do it right now.
and,
You
and
don't.
I know
Yeah.
chapters are going to be like, well, we have chapter sovereignty. You can't do this. You can't do this. Okay, let me explain how that works. Okay, you're absolutely right. But if for somebody from CBS happens to get on the internet and they go to your chapter's website and they see that you're attached to the parent organization, then yeah, that's not going to end well.
Yeah, they'll send a cease and desist to both entities, both SFI and your chapter.
Yeah,
to remove it.
If you've never got a cease and desist, they're long and they're detailed and they're not fun.
Academy has been working on compliance for years, and we're still up to our eyeballs in it. We're working on it, though, very, very strictly.
So the question by Elizabeth right now is, what about wearing them on your uniforms? If you bought them, you can wear them on your uniforms. I'm not saying you can't. Okay, people are probably going to misunderstand me. You can wear them all you want, but they cannot be on our manuals as the parent organization. They cannot be on our manuals or our logos or stuff like that. They have to be custom and unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to buy them. That's the point. It's follow the money. If you're bought the stuff and it's licensed, then you're okay. If you create it yourself and sell it, that's a no-no. You've got to be unique.
See, these are some of the concepts that one member has come up with.
No,
like 1 and 2 might be a little too close, but
they're too close. You can't do that.
Well, I mean, like it'll be voted on by the EC and everything, but
yeah,
we'll get down to a fine few and then we'll open it up to the membership. But I mean, like this,
That's a no-no. That's a lieutenant's bar in there.
Yeah. So I mean, there's just to show you what they look like or what's coming on and stuff like that.
Yeah, some of them are pretty.
I like this one because it's definitely unique.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he submitted 16.
Mm-hmm.
So there'd be good to have. I know a few other people are wanting to do some too. Number 7 looks like Fleet 31. It does to a point, but yours is just a little different. But
yeah.
If we decide to use it, Jay, and of course my friend Jay who's watching, we'll trademark it and then you can't use it no more. Just saying, just kidding. So yeah, that's a little bit of what we're doing. We want to try to get something unique and different. Somebody's like, well, you can use the Nemesis badge, but you have to alter it like 30%. No, you're ripping off somebody else's design and changing it to fit yours.
The other thing is too with IP and trademark, that 30% idea, that's kind of an old wives' tale. I deal with a company quite often called Games Workshop, and that's a common contention, and it's gone to court, and people have lost their entire livelihoods over the 30% they thought. It's not really a thing. If a lawyer can prove to a judge that what you created is their IP, you're done. You lost the argument. It doesn't matter. Oh, well, it's 30% different. Literally, the judge comes back at you and says, well, so you did copy it. You purposely took his idea and then made it 30% different. And then your argument's dead in the water immediately. Yeah. So, like, yes, in theory, it's been used in the past as legal precedents, but it's usually used in legal precedents to say, like, we created this, somebody else created it, independent of each other, and they're similar. And then they're like, oh, well, this one's at least 30% different. We'll let that go. But when it's the timeline involved is this was created, this was made subsequent, it's slightly different, but it's obviously made for the purposes of copying the previous and drawing from it. Yeah, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I said, guys, we're not doing this to be bullies. We're trying to keep, because If I'll tell you right now, if you think getting sued by GDPR violation is bad, we do not want a lawsuit from CBS
No.
or the DLD for the Marine Corps crap that we had a few years
Oh,
ago.
geez, that was a horrible thing.
Yeah, so
That was awful.
we're trying to make sure everything's in compliance. So work with us. If you need a logo done, get with me. I've got some graphics people that said that they would help volunteer some time to help design a new logo for you. Now let me rephrase that. Don't get on there and send me 400 new requests for a new logo. if your logo has to be changed because it has a com badge in it that's out of compliance, then we'll see what we can do about helping you get a new logo.
I was going to say, I went through and kind of looked through all the regions on the region web pages and looked at all the chapters. With a few minor exceptions, honestly, most of them can be removed by literally just like an eraser and paint. Like, it's just they have a com badge here. And it's a minor element of their design. There's a couple that are like straight up a com badge. Like, okay, yeah, you're probably going to have to figure something out past that. But again, too, on the chapter side of it, until a cease and desist is given, I mean, you can kind of let it low and see how it goes. Some of these chapters have had these logos for, like 15 years plus, 20 years plus, and they've never had an issue. They may continue not ever having an issue, but there's always that one chance that, that letter comes in the mail. So
it's too scary to indemnify to put the organization in danger. It's better to just get rid of the old stuff and design something new.
Yeah. Another bonus to the idea of having a fleet com badge is fleet solidarity. Going forward, if you're at a convention and you see someone in the distance in a Starfleet cosplay, you can see, oh well, they're wearing a SFI com badge. They must be from another chapter. So there's that ability to identify.
Why can't we use the trademark logo and make a pin out of it? It's beautiful. It's perfect.
What do you mean?
You mean the Starfleet, the laurels, and
with like we use that we're putting in instead of a lot of stuff that was copied. That is a beautiful trademark. Why not make a pin out of it?
Well, we actually we were looking at making pins, but to have a specific pin design for that is going to cost a lot. That was actually, we had looked at that. I mean, it was going to cost what it was going to cost Starfleet. We would have to jack up the price a lot just to sell it, to even cover our cost. So what we did is we decided to make what they call a cling, a window decal that you can put on the back of your window now. We used to have those a long time ago. Let me see if I can find the mock-up that was sent to me.
Oh yeah, the ones that cling on and that clinging, you can remove them and move them around. Those are cool. I like those because we're starting to replace some of our logos with that with our trademark because it's more unifying. I think. That's just my opinion.
So that's what the cling will look like. It'll have the parent organization's website on it, and I think we're going to sell it for like $2. So we're going to have 1,000 of them made up because James is telling me that he's got over 200 people that saying that they want. I believe even the gentleman sitting down there with a T-shirt on, shaking his head, said he wanted a couple.
Oh yeah.
So. We're trying to do different things the best we can. The 3D printing can, yeah, true, but the 3D printing. But if you're going to have the pins made, I've had some stuff that was 3D printed and it didn't last long. It wasn't. I mean, it's sturdy. Don't get me wrong. It's sturdy, but it just, and then you have to take the time to paint them and all this other stuff.
There are some advantages to 3D printing that people miss is rapid prototyping. So with something like a stereolithic or lithographic 3D printer, the resin ones. You can get some really high quality and make molds and then pour in those molds.
There's
And
advantage
if you,
to the lighter
yeah,
weight.
and I know a number of pin companies and places where if you get it designed and you give them a stereolithograph master, they don't charge you a setup fee.
Ooh.
So, and that's a huge expenditure when you're talking about stuff like challenge coins, pins, anything like that. Anything made in metal, colossome pins or enamel pins. The setup fee is what nails you. 3D can be costly, Jenny, but like I have a stereolithograph 3D printer and it cost me $400 for the whole setup. So it is expensive. Don't get me wrong. It's not a cheap hobby by any means, but it's definitely not what it was, 5-6 years ago, where it was like $6,000 for a 3D printer.
Yeah. So I had a few people ask me this morning if Starfleet will ever get a round patch that they can get and buy through the quartermaster. We have some mock-ups being made so we can see what they're going to look like. And we will probably end up having a Starfleet, like, you've got the Marine Corps patch, you got the Mako patch. We'll have a Starfleet International patch. So we'll have to see what will come up with that. But I've got a guy going to do 5 or 6 mock-ups, so we'll see what we get. Let's see. Do we have any other questions?
To add on to Hooper's point, it's like also they will require minimum orders. That's true with a lot of companies, but there are some companies in the U.S. that will make like 5. They'll make 1. You might spend $130 on the 1 pin, but they'll do 1 pin. So if you want something unique, you can buy it and pay for it.
Do we have any other questions, guys?
Anybody?
All right. Well, we were joined tonight with Admiral Carol Thompson with the Academy, Commodore Stephen Stott, IG, Russell Camp, Associate Paducah. Dude, I'm telling you.
I'm a city.
I'm going to bed. I'm just saying. Associate producer, mother effer. He's Russell. Okay, I'll just say that.
Marine Captain, Associate Producer, Starfleet, After
Thank
Dark,
you.
Chief Operations.
First, guys, I'm sorry. I started work at 3:30 this morning. I didn't get done until 6:45. I am beyond blitz. I'm tired. So, like I said, every Tuesday we'll have AMA. Hang on, I got a question that just popped in on the members only saying.
You sure that wasn't mine?
Is Section 31 now active in Starfleet?
Oh, good God.
Yay!
There is no Section 31.
Michael, reach out to Antonio DeAngelis. He can help you with any questions you have regarding Section 31. He might read you the right act from the Starfleet Charter, but he'll give you all the information you need. So every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, will be Ask Me Anything with my ugly self. Thursdays will be Trek After Dark, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. For you guys coming in, Trek After Dark is a little more colorful language. Seems like everybody I've had on Trek After Dark has been drinking. I don't know why. But it's all supposed to be fun, guys. Remember this. We're all locked in. We're all stuck. We can't go out and do anything. So we're interacting. We're having fun. One Sunday a month will be an Ask Me Anything with the international chapters. This past Sunday was our first one, and we had about 47, 48 people watching. Is that right, Russell?
48.
48. It was a great turnout. Had several captains on there. We had the RC on there. It was really, really good. So if you guys want to come on, get with Russell. He'll get you guys scheduled.
Like I have 3 openings for this week's After Dark right now. So
if you guys
you're
want to
interested,
come on, this week's After Dark, send a message to Russell Camp. For y'all that come in that don't know him, this is Russell right here. He'll schedule you in. He'll get you situated, and he'll send you the link. For everybody coming in, I'll do one final peek of our new intro videos for both AMA and Trek After Dark. So hang on one second. So those are for the people that just come in. Those are your new intros. We hope you guys enjoy it. We're trying to get this a little more fun, a little more interactive. Just remember we're all in this together. We've got hopefully this. I guess I wouldn't say everything's going to get back to the normal. I guess it'll be the new normal because it's a scary situation. So if you're in an area that still has lockdown orders by your state and local government, please abide by them. Remember, follow CDC guidelines and protocols. I do not want to come back on here and have to announce another Starfleet member's death because of COVID-19. Be safe.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Remember social distancing. It just happened not too long ago, and I mean, I do not want to make another announcement. So, everybody, please remember: be safe. Wash your hands. Follow the CDC guidelines. And as always, live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.